Oh man,
Felt
so
like,
you're saying we won't see AB on the field again?
Never say never.
Yeah.
I mean, I might pull out my kit. I don't even know where it is. Maybe I pull it out and play a social game somewhere in the next year, and I feel like, you know what, maybe
Some legends
Maybe
cricket
go
to have
play
fun
some-
with old mates?
maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll play some club cricket and that fire will start burning again. I've been programmed to try and be just the best always,
Yeah.
and I would like, come on, man.
Yeah. Your career also has had a few lows in a sense of, not being able to win a World Cup. That must be a little bit of a regret for you.
Yeah, it hurts big time, It's the minute I got into the Proteas setup, that's all I wanted to do. It's always been a thing spoken about in the press. I watched that 99 World Cup where Klusen and Donald, where they got run out.
Yeah.
I remember crying myself to bed. I was 15 years old and I was devastated. So that was obviously a big goal. And to our downfall, I think that was the mindset of all of our players. I think to win a World Cup, it shouldn't be like that at all. You must go and play the game and see it as another tournament.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. It
Yeah.
was like a real big thing for us, and that's all I wanted to achieve. So as captain 2015, I felt like we were incredibly prepared. Nothing was going to stop us. We had the numbers of the Aussies in that final because we just beat them in Zim. I knew we were gonna take them down in that final, and unfortunately we slipped up against New Zealand in that semis, and it was heartbreaking. It was a big knock for me in my career.
Yeah.
There are no regrets. I mean, it's not going to keep me awake at night anymore.
No, absolutely not.
But at the time, it hit me very hard.
Yeah, because there's a lot more than meets the eye, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a certain, and I think we from the outside understand why, or we kind of figure out, like we hear, there's certain rules that South Africa have to play by. You think is it because of that a World Cup evades kind of South Africa?
It's one of the roles that were played. There's no doubt about it. It's a controversial point, and I've got absolutely nothing to hide. I wanted Carl Abbott in the team at the time. He played the previous game. Him and Dale had a fantastic opening partnership going. But Vern, who came in, is one of the best bowlers I've ever seen play the game of cricket.
Without a doubt,
So to me, it's not political, it's not racial. To me, I wanted the best team on the day, and I'll go with form and who I feel is the right player at the time. So I didn't get that team, and it was unfortunate that it happened the night before, 10 minutes before our big team meeting, which I prepared for a week. And I had the song lined up, and the guys were emotional. And to get that knock 10 minutes before our team meeting, the day before the semi-finals of the World Cup, was absolutely unnecessary and uncalled for. But it happened, and it's not an excuse. We had on opportunities in the game, and that's what I would always look at. We dropped a couple of catches. The rain got us undone a little bit with the batting, and I felt we had a few more in us with Miller and myself being at the crease, really going strong. It wasn't meant to be, as much as you want to dig into it. It's just heartbreaking, man. It hit me so hard because I really wanted it. But maybe it's a big lesson in life again. I wanted it. And it's not got anything to do with me. It's about the team. It's about the country. And I think if we can get that mindset away from the I, maybe I was a little bit focused on I want to be the captain to bring us home and take this World Cup. Maybe that's got something to do with that. Where I would never ever claim it in any way. So it's maybe not true, but long story short, we put too much emphasis on winning that World Cup, and maybe that was part of the reason why we got unstuck.
Yeah. But do you ever, sit back and think about your cricket and feel, I had a few years left in me?
I could still play.
Yeah, I know, which is why I'm asking you.
But the drive is not there anymore, Robbie. From a young age, it's always just about being the best. I want to be the best. If I come back now, I want to compete with Surya and Kohli and them. And I just felt the last few years of my career not playing international cricket. I definitely didn't play enough cricket towards the back end of my career. I think that was the main thing. With this impact player, I know a lot of people are celebrating it. Yeah, it's going to lengthen the careers of players. To me, I could never do that. I could never just play 2 or 3 months of the year because I want to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
And you can't do that if you play for 3 months of the year. It's absolutely no chance. Yes, you can practice for 9 months, but nothing compares with middle practice, with being out there and competition.
Yeah.
So with the minute that fire went of being the best in the world, I felt like, what am I doing here?
So
what exactly is going on now? So it was tough the last few years in that regard as well. I felt like, I can still have my super knock here and there, but I don't want to do that. I want to be the best.
Yeah. Oh man,
Felt
so
like,
you're saying we won't see AB on the field again?
Not in the IPL, I think. But never say never. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I might pull out my kit. I don't even know where it is. Maybe I pull it out and play a social game somewhere in the next year, and I feel like, you know what, maybe
Some legends
Maybe
cricket
go
to
and
have
play
fun
some-
with old mates?
maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll play some club cricket and that fire will start burning again. I'll
Yeah.
set myself some other goals I think will be really important. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been programmed to try and be just the best always,
Yeah.
and I would like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So,
maybe
So I'll have
maybe
to find
shift to go. I just want to have fun with cricket.
I always had fun as well, Robbie. but
Yeah, I know,
You
I
have
know.
a bit more fun when you try and be the best.
Yeah. You know, what is your theory of batting in your multiverse of madness?
Whew, where do we start? That's really tough, eh? But I look at it a lot deeper than most people, I think. Humility, be very, very humble and be prepared to work hard at what you want to achieve. And then white ball cricket, the technical side of it and batting, I think the basics are so important and people overlook it these days because of all the fancy shots that's been created over the years. It doesn't come without hard work and without the foundation of having the basics in place.
Sure.
Understanding that you should play the ball late, under the eyes, understanding you should see it out of the hand of the bowler. And there's so many different aspects of batting with regard to spin and seam bowling, areas of the ground, the way a captain is captaining against you when you're batting. There's so much to think about. I can't put my finger on one or two things, but I think the basics, having that foundation in place, playing the ball late, and keeping your feet on the ground and being prepared to work hard for what you want to achieve. And understanding that making friends in cricketing circles are more important than actually succeeding. That's maybe a bigger success than actually succeeding on the pitch itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very personal thing. It's tough. It's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe that's the answer. Every person's game is different. Don't try and be like someone next to you. Find out what your game is all about. Understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and then build your game around that. I think that's crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's very individualistic as well. And
Yeah.
You know, I think every person needs to find, you know, what drives them, what motivates them.
Exactly. So that's why I'm never going to try and push my game onto someone.
Yeah.
I'll try and tweak one or two things when I work with a batter. And I'm working with a few youngsters
Are you?
at home, and I love it. I absolutely love it so much. But you have to pull yourself back from trying to tell people how you should bat because of the way you bat it.
Yeah.
So I always will try and look at the guy's strengths and build on that and tell him, I see you missing a couple of straight ones. Maybe get the balance right, head upright. Tiny little basics that I try and get across instead of trying to tell someone, bat like me.
Yeah. So coaching gig, ever in the future, would you consider it?
Tough to say. It's a long stint.
It is.
I think it's
more work than...
I think it's very
Yes.
intense. It's a lot more meetings. It's more practice sessions. It's maybe in a weird way more stress because you can't do anything about the outcome of the game.
Yep.
You can't play your role.
Yeah.
You're just playing the role of keeping the people calm and making sure they execute their roles. I would absolutely love that. I don't know if I've got it in me to sit in one place for 3 months at a time. I don't know. I'm a little bit impatient when it comes to that. But maybe one day, never say never. I'm not quite ready for that yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Toughest bowler you faced?
Oh, I think Shane Warne in 2006, the first time I travelled to Australia. Not so much because of skill and technique and also just the presence of the man and the aura he carried. And obviously I was quite inexperienced. I knew from the word go he was going to get me out.
Yeah.
When
Really?
I faced the first ball and went like, there's nothing to this. I mean, it's pretty simple. But he's just, when I looked up, he was looking at me and I'm like, what now? And then Gilly was talking about my backlift behind the stumps, and it was just, I got 60 that game. It felt easy, but he was just smart, incredible player, and he worked out pretty quickly that my technique is not quite spot on when it comes to playing straight. So he was really going slow, slider straight, and I missed a straight one. And not long after that, that was my weakness. For 2005, 6, 7, I would miss straight balls, especially angling a bit back. I would fall over, touch with my head. My backlift was a little bit behind my back, which I didn't know at the time.
That. Yeah.
And I had to pay the dues out. I mean, I had to go back to the drawing board, figure out my technique. But he was a man who could figure out little things like that and understand there's something not right with this guy's backlift. Let's go straight and just slide it in there. And ultimately, I missed one.
Yeah.
No.
Nice. Shane Warne, the great Shane Warne.
Yeah, and quite a few others. I mean, as I got older, a bit more experienced, there came new challenges for bowlers. I think of a Bumrah was always very challenging because he was so competitive.
Yeah.
He would never back down. He's always in your face. So I've got a lot of respect for him and the way he plays his cricket. I got a hold of him a few times. He came back at me and got a hold of me a few times, and I love that competitiveness. Rashid Khan, tough to pick at night. Once again, got him a few times, and he would always come back, always in your face. I could hit him for 3 sixes. He would try and get me out the next ball. And those are the kind of bowlers I always found difficult to face and always had a lot of respect for.
Nice, nice. And today we have Suryakumar Yadav, who practically is, say, an Indian replica of you. And there are a lot of parallels that have been drawn. How do you rate his batting?
I think he's incredible. I think he's pulling off shots that I never did. I really do. He's... when he gets going, it's lovely to watch. I think he's got a long way to go still. I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
I think there's even a better player in the future. So that's very exciting. I think his biggest concern, or not concern, his biggest challenge will be to be consistent in all the formats and to figure out his game in Test cricket, in ODIs and in T20s and understand how it works for him. I think he should actually just realise it's all exactly the same.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of similarities. He's just got to be able to shift through the gears. And I mean, he's incredible to watch. He can score all around the ground.
Yeah.
And when he's confident, he's just also, he moves so slowly. And his head is so beautifully upright. He hits the ball nice and late. And once you snap that as a batter, once you realise that you got to actually, the faster the bowler gets, the more you got to let it come.
Yeah.
And that is the weirdest dynamic to click. And I think he's clicked that. So the sky's the limit with him.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
Where does AB de Villiers go from here? 5 years from now, where do you want to be?
Emerson's quote where he talks about leaving the world a better place. That's it. Whether it's in a cricket team or away from the game, the dad that I am to my kids, the husband that I am, the friend that I am, those are the kind of things that are absolutely the most. I wouldn't be able to live with not ticking those boxes when I go and leave this world one day.
Yeah.
So in 5 years' time, wherever it may be, I just want to be a good person. Want to be humble, have time for other people, whether it's in a cricket team or away from it. I don't know. We'll see.
Amazing. Thank you, AB. It's been an absolute pleasure, man, to have you on the Home of Heroes.
It's been my pleasure. We should talk about you a bit more the next time, because I've been a fan for many years as well.
Thanks.
Nice talking to you.
That's it on the Home of Heroes this time. We'll see you next time.